Alright guys, we're gonna start writing HTML code. Are you excited? Yay! So what do? I'm gonna take you from scratch, right? We're creating a new folder. So let's create a new folder. Let me call this course. What do you want to call it? Telegram. Let me just say course. Alright. I know I'm a bit confused. And so basically this is where all my HTML stuff will be working from. So I'd suggest that you create a folder before you open your Visual Studio Code. I hope you downloaded the Visual Studio Code. If you haven't, please go and watch the video, or you can actually connect with me or anybody on Discord and we'll help you out. We have facilitators on Discord that are ready to answer your questions and trying to help you set up your Visual Studio Code if you haven't done that. All right, but if you have it, you can open it. It looks like this. So you turn it on, you open Visual Studio Code, and then I would drag my file here, and that's it. Don't worry about the dots and stuff. That's Flutter stuff, so that's not important. So you can see I have the course here, and then you can create a new file here or create a new folder. In this case, we're just creating a new file. So we're going to call it index.html. So every landing page, or the first thing you see in a website, is an index page, right? You can call it anything you want, but you have to save it as .html. All right, so you would have to say .html. So that's how the computer would know that this is not a normal document. If you don't save it as a .html, it won't work. So you need to save it as whatever you want to save it as .html. But every front page or every landing page of a website uses the index. So index.html. All right. Once you've done that, we can start writing code. But there's one thing I want to show you. Remember, we talked about this. This is the extensions, right? You want to make sure that you have something called live server. Live server, this one, it is by Retweak Day, so it has more than 7,700,000 downloads. So this particular one, install it. What it does is that it allows you to view your website without having to constantly open another browser, right? It just helps you. You don't have to refresh. It automatically refreshes your page. You'll see that in a minute how that works. So this is index.html. We have nothing here yet, but how can we start creating really awesome stuff, right? The shortcuts, I wouldn't suggest using the shortcuts, but I want to show you. I mean, some people will tell you not to start off that way, but I just want to show you. But I would suggest don't use it. Just type it out yourself. So it's shift, and then first you need to use shift and just have the exclamation mark. So shift and wherever your exclamation mark is, right? This will give me the short version. If I click on it, it automatically gives me this. That's the beauty of things like Visual Studio Code, right? But I wouldn't suggest you do this yet. I suggest don't do that. All right, so we're starting from scratch, right? So if you type in this, that's the first thing you need to type when you're working with HTML. So this is doc type HTML. You need to type this in the capital letter. It works without it, but it's just, you know how every language has a way you have to work with them, and with HTML, this is how you have to work with it, right? So doc type HTML, it would work without it. And then some people will say HTML lang equals English, but you don't do that, right? It will work without that. But so let's continue. So HTML lang equals English. Basically, just telling the whoever's looking at this or the browser that this is going to be written in English. All right. And then, like we said, if you look at the video. The previous video, we talked about structure. You have the head, so a house has a roof, a person has a head. So same way, the HTML has a head. And the head, there are things that you can put in the head, right? And what you put in the head, an example is a title, right? I'm going to show you what a title looks like. So let's just type something here. All right, so if we go through, let's say an example code with the CEO, just see if we have a title here. What you see here is the title. So home, code rate, technology, education, jobs, incubation. So this is the title. So this top here is the title. Everything is the body, not the title, right? It's not the head. So the head is here. So how do we write something here? That is what we're going to do. So that is the title. All right. So we're going to type in. So every HTML command starts with opening tag. So Visual Studio Code kind of closes things for you fast, but you have to open a less than sign and then type what you want to command. In this case, you want to command title and then close it. And what you want to command must be in front of the command. So it's not going to be inside the command. is going to be separate, like outside the command, right? So in this case, I want to call this my website. So that's going to be the title. Yeah. And if you don't close it, so everything has to be closed like this, right? So what you're commanding is inside this. So the command title, yeah, just it's almost like telling the computer go. It's like you're driving a car and you're saying, if I move the gears, it decides what happens. So if I move the steering, all right, press the accelerator, press the brake, this is what will happen, right? So that's commands, and the commands are put in a tag, so less than and greater than sign, and then you put the actual title here. So you can save this. All right. Now, why did we install live server? You're going to see it in a minute. We don't have to go and look for the file and try and find a way to open it. We can just right click and you would see open with live server. Open with live server, and it would open a browser. Okay, just a minute. Show where that's not showing. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, it's opening the browser. It was just slow. All right, so that's it. You can see the title, my website. So basically that is the new title. So if you're able to do this, clap for yourself. Let us know in the comment section, because you started a server, and we can actually even divide the screen so we can see both servers, both browsers. So this can be here. All right, so you can see the work you're doing, and this can be right here. Okay. Oops, 1 second. Yep, and this can be right here. I just want to make it bigger so it's easy to see. All right, so basically whatever we do here will automatically show here, because we're using a live server. We don't have to keep refreshing. It would refresh itself, right? Just to show you that if we do a body, all right, so if we have a body, remember you have a head and you have a body. So right now we're writing in the body, which is everything that is in this white space, all right? And in HTML you have headings. Basically, like, think about it like you're writing a story, like a headline in a newspaper. It has a heading, or a blog. You have to have a title, right? So most times you use heading, and I always suggest, and it's actually advisable to use only one heading. You don't want to have H1, H2, H3. So H1 is the biggest heading, H2 is smaller, H3 is smaller, but you have to only have one heading so you don't confuse SEO or search engine optimization. All right, so let's say welcome to my website is here. All right, welcome to my website. Once you save that, you see that automatically just shows, right? So you can see what you're doing. So remember, H1 is the command for the biggest heading. All the commands are in a tag. You put them, H1 is in a tag, and what you want to command is right in front of it, and then you close H1. If you turn this to H3, it becomes smaller because it's smaller than H1, so it becomes smaller. You can see that that's smaller. Okay, that's it. Let me know if you have problems. If you are having problems with the extension, you can close the Visual Studio Code and start the process all over again. Otherwise, congratulations, you've just created your first web page. In the next video, we're going to go a bit into detail in paragraphs, and you'll be creating your first poem website. All right, guys, you can see that in a very short time you're able to actually work with HTML. I'll see you in the next video.